So hi everybody, welcome to our webinar. Today we're going to be putting a spotlight on sustainable products from across Scotland. This webinar is being offered in partnership with our member organization, Visit Scotland. You'll be hearing from them in just a few moments. But I want to thank everybody for being here, for taking this opportunity to actively engage with our meaningful travel impact partners. This webinar is for all of you on the call, so we really want to encourage you, like I said just now, to engage in the chat, introduce yourself throughout the webinar, talk to other people, and then make sure if you have any questions for any of our speakers that you put them into the Q&A feature there. We'll pause between groups of presentations and then also at the end to ask questions and delve a little bit deeper based on your questions into the fantastic work that these partners are doing. My name is John Sutherland. I'm the Senior Director of Community Impact at Tourism Cares. Tourism Cares is a US-based nonprofit organization, and our mission is to unite the travel industry and serve as a catalyst for positive social, environmental, and economic impact for the people and places of travel. We do that through in-person events, through networking opportunities, through industry trainings like this webinar. We have online education opportunities, those are open to everybody. And we also offer tools and resources that are intended to serve everybody in our industry, all segments, all professionals, with across all the industry in order to advance your meaningful travel journey. And we do recognize that that is a journey. Some of you may be a little bit more knowledgeable and advanced on that journey. Some of you may be at the beginning stages. So regardless of where you're coming from on that journey, we welcome you into our community and we invite you to take steps in the right direction. Just to give you an idea, I've been using the term meaningful, sustainable, kind of back and forth. At Tourism Cares, we use the term meaningful travel, and we define that as a travel that ensures direct benefits for host communities, that protects cultural and environmental assets, and that connects with guests so that they understand the destination in a deeper and more responsible way. Meaningful travel is infused into travel just like any other component, any supplier you might do, any transportation, anything like that, but it's just done with a little bit more intentionality to having a positive impact on the globe, but then on the local destination as well. We think it's really important to remember that no single person can do any of this work alone. We all have to do it together. So our destination marketing organizations, the public sector, all the associations and consortia, buyers, suppliers, nonprofits, travelers, all of us own a piece of the pie here. And so that's why Tourism Cares tries to do events like this, try to convene and unify the industry so we can all work together towards that positive change. So we want to thank all of you for being here and for taking this work so seriously. In terms of the work, we've tried to make it as easy as possible to connect with the right partners in the right destinations through a tool that we call the Tourism Cares Meaningful Travel Map. So you can scan that QR code there in the corner if you want to further explore that map at some point during your day today or even during the webinar. The Meaningful Travel Map is an interactive business-to-business tool, so it's really for the industry, especially tour operators, travel advisors, to find vetted organizations like nonprofits, social enterprises, shops, accommodations, tour providers, restaurants, you name it. But they're all making a positive social and environmental impact, and they're ready to be explored by travelers. So the map is global in nature, but here you can see a view specifically of Scotland, which they've been a partner for a couple of years, so they have a particularly dense and robust map, which we're really excited about. The user can view information about each one of those profiles there. Right now I have up the profile for Visit Scotland, and that'll include the experiences that are offered, the background about the business, their impact. Obviously, we focus on that, as well as answers to common questions you might have as somebody from the travel trade. Here's some suggestions on how people from different segments can use the Meaningful Travel Map and take advantage of this incredible network of impact partners we have. We have over 700 of them as of last week. And today we're really excited to hear from 6 of them from around Scotland, all doing incredible work, and you'll get a sense of how meaningful travel is good for the local social, economic, and environmental impact, but also good for customers. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Caitlin McLeod from Visit Scotland, to introduce the work they're doing there. And then we'll invite these 6 partners to do short one-by-one presentations. As a reminder, please use the Q&A throughout to ask any questions that you might have for specific panelists or for the group. And with that, I'll pass it over to Caitlin. Take it away.
Thank you, John. Perfect. So yeah, hi everyone. Great to see everyone's comments coming in the chat. Feels like we've got people from all over, which is very exciting. So yeah, I'm Caitlin McLeod. I'm the Market Development Manager for North America at Visit Scotland. And yeah, super excited to be here today, co-hosting our second webinar with Tourism Cares, but this time taking a slightly different tact and going through the lens of experiencing Scotland throughout our seasons. Could you pop onto the next slide, please? So Visit Scotland, for those who might not be aware, we are Scotland's national tourism organisation. So we very much exist to drive the visitor economy and grow its value to Scotland. We very much measure success using what we like to refer to as the 4S framework, which is shown here, to deliver the best for our visitors, our businesses, our communities, and our environment. So working with Tourism Cares and developing our meaningful travel map has really meant a lot to us because it helps us drive our ambitions to spread our visitors across Scotland, as you'll find out more today, spread our visitors throughout the year as well. It's helping us enable spend across our tourism sectors, particularly spotlighting those tourism experiences where the tourism dollars can really go back into local charities or local projects, which all in all really supports sustainable development across tourism in Scotland. Satisfaction levels are something that we'll continue to monitor, but in general, we really understand that in order to find experiences or responsible tourism for sustainable tourism, where opportunities where you can give back, you really do need something to bring this to life for you. So we recognise that the map does just that, and you and your clients can really know that your tourism choices are supporting local causes in Scotland. Can we go to next slide? Perfect. So perfect. So we recognise that Scotland is well known. We're renowned for lots of physical attributes, such as our breathtaking landscapes, our historic cities, our ancient castles. Our food and drink is pretty iconic as well. But what this looks like throughout the year is a little less well known. And we get told time and time again that Scotland is so much more than just these physical products. Next slide, please. It's always about how Scotland makes people feel that sets us apart. It's the warmth of our welcome, our rich stories, the depth of our traditions, the strong sense of spirit in Scotland that really creates an emotional connection between Scotland and our visitors. And that's very much because in Scotland, well-being comes naturally to us. Next slide, please. And as the seasons change across Scotland, so do the experiences and feelings that Scotland brings. Clients looking for immersive, sensory-rich experiences will love autumn and winter in Scotland. And we're very much in autumn right now. It's in full swing. And it's really bringing a real sense of calm after a pretty busy summer in Scotland and a real sense of escapism. So while the landscape is changing into this tapestry of reds, oranges, and yellows, our experiences are also going through quite the transition. Our storytelling walks and tours, for example, are now embracing our witchcraft history. We're tucking into the last of our summer berries and our summer fruits and replacing these strawberries and so on with pumpkins now to pick. And the outdoors are just making for a stunning backdrop for any photograph, including when you're visiting our castle, such as Dunrobin Castle pictured here, but with also fewer crowds so that you can really embrace it. As the days begin to shorten, winter invites you to slow down even more. We refer to this time as a time to coorie in, which is a Scottish way of saying getting cozy or snuggling in. And as someone who very much likes to be in the outdoors, I still love being in the outdoors in winter. It's one of my favourite times actually to discover new lochs or walks, because the crisp air and the silence and the just the different winter lighting that it brings as well just brings something completely different. But of course, after being outside, you want to think about firelit whiskey tastings, storytelling evenings, traditional music events at night, which all very much bring this heartfelt, Korean kind of feelings. And between March and May, Scotland will begin to bloom again. So spring is a wonderful time for those looking to beat the crowds and experience the real sense of renewal. Garden tours and wildlife experiences are really made for this time of year. You'll see lambs leaping in the fields, and our Scottish gardens in the backdrop of our castles begin flowering again. Our historical sites and attractions are often quieter at this before the summer rush as well, so we can really connect you again on a deeper level with our heritage. And it'll soon be summer again, I'm sure, at the rate that the time is going at this moment in time. So for summer, it's all about adventuring off the beaten path. This tends to be a busier time of year for us, so we very much recommend discovering new places, making use of public transport to get you there so that the journey can be part of the bigger picture there. And with the days getting much longer at this time of year, sometimes the sun won't set until about 10 p.m. Getting outside with a guide is perfect for a hike, a cycle, or to go on the water, or of course taking part in a foodie tour as well. Could you just slide to next slide, please? So I'm really delighted when it comes to the Meaningful Travel Map. The majority of our Meaningful Travel experiences on the map are open year round, and many of them will offer different experiences at different times of year as well. Next slide, please. And before just passing over to our speakers, I just want to let you know that we are here at Visit Scotland to support you on this journey to creating new itineraries for Scotland. Along with the Meaningful Travel Map, we've got our own dedicated website for the travel trade. And on here, you'll find itineraries that we have created that will weave in meaningful travel experiences, which will focus on local immersion and also the responsible enjoyment of the outdoors. We've also just recently launched a new dedicated autumn and winter content page, which collates creative assets to help you promote and sell these times of year, with itineraries for those times of year also on their way as well. Next slide, please. Perfect. So that's enough from me, really. I just wanted to set the scene behind all of this. I will be handing it over now so that you can hear firsthand about the exclusive meaningful travel trade experiences available on the map. As mentioned, we're very keen to spotlight our regions, seasons, and different sectors. So we've highlighted one accommodation and one experience across the east coast of Scotland, the Highlands and Islands as well, and central Scotland, to really give you a taste of Scotland through the seasons. So I'll now hand over to Gordon from Cairngorm Lodges and Bothies and Leslie from TwinPeakes Fly Fishing, so you can zoom in on the east coast in autumn.
Thank you so much for the invitation to share our story here with Tourism Cares. Over the next 4 minutes, I will show you around our business, how it came to be, and focus on the off-grid and regenerative nature of our business, Cairngorm Bothies. Incidentally, a bothy is a term used to describe a rural shelter. Simply put, it's a refuge to shelter from the Scottish weather, regardless of the season. I shall explain how we've successfully delivered what we believe to be the world's first completely off-grid, purpose-built holiday development. We are a force for the good, and we are positively contributing to our community, our local economy, and our environment. Next slide, please. Firstly, a bit about how to find us. We are in our very own Scots Pine ancient woodland. Our bothies and lodges are located to the popular town of Ballater Royal Deeside, which is famous perhaps most particularly for its royal connections, but also for the outdoor activities that are offered within the Cairngorms National Park. The area offers a wide range of activities such as mountain biking, skiing, fishing, golf, and hill walking. The national park is an exciting outdoor adventure playground for all ages. Royal Deeside is often the add-on to a Scotland trip, which takes in the capital, Edinburgh, alongside a trip to the Highlands of Scotland with Balmoral Castle as the destination centrepiece. Next slide, please. Our story starts in 2012 with the opening of Cairngorm Lodges. We expanded in 2020 with 12 unique self-catering off-grid bothies. Cairngorm Excursions has been added to the mix, and that offers our guests activities which focus on human-powered endeavours. Activities such as walking tours, mountain bike routes, and a winter programme of starbathing. These human-powered activities align with our green credentials. These bespoke activities and experiences are all bookable with our accommodation offering. We're open all year round and can accommodate 15 to 20 families at any given time. With regards to this slide, who's the cheeky guy in the middle? He's a resident, not a guest. This wee red squirrel and his forest chums live in our natural world. The setting of both our lodges and bothies give our customers a fully immersive experience, integrated into nature, and through that they come away with an enhanced sense of well-being. As custodians of the woodlands, our priority is to ensure a responsible and sustainable experience with the natural environment in mind. It is our belief that if we prioritise the welfare of the environment, we will enhance our customers' experience and provide us with a profitable and sustainable business. Next slide, please. When our guests come to stay with us, a welcome pack awaits, and this advises them through our responsible visitor charter and our environmental policy of how living can be conducted in a sustainable way. We do this through an informative manner and try to give our guests an appreciation of sustainable living and develop a consciousness for water and energy scarcity alongside waste management. It's all part of our Bothies experience. We've been awarded a Gold Award from Scotland's Green Tourism Initiative, which we wear with pride, alongside our multiple Channel Climate Action Awards. Last year, we were proud to be included in Tourism Cares and Accessible status. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. To summarise, we see ourselves as custodians of this special place in the heart of the UK's national park. Our business responsibility and sustainability is at the heart of what we do. It is our unique selling point. Next slide, please. And that brings me to the end of my presentation, and thank you for listening.
Well, hello, everybody. My name's Leslie, and I work in our family business called TwinPeakes Fly Fishing. And I'd like to spend a few minutes now to share with you our love for fly fishing. Next slide, please. So we're based in the northeast of Scotland, about 20 minutes outside of Aberdeen, just in a wee town called Banchory, which is on the banks of the River Dee. We offer fly fishing experiences for the novice and the more experienced across all the main rivers in the northeast. These are the Dee, which is famed for its salmon fishing, the Don for its wild brown trout, and the Devon. The Devon is one of Scotland's most admired salmon and trout rivers, known for its beauty, variety, and quality of sport. As a lady angler, I'm excited to share with you that the Devon boasts the record of the heaviest UK fly-caught salmon. It was caught by a lady called Mrs. Clementina Morrison on the 21st of October, 1924, and weighed in at a wee 61 pounds. Now here at TwinPeakes, we promote fly fishing as a very inclusive sport. I lead a women's group called Women in Waders, and we tailor all our experiences to customers' needs, which we establish through our exemplary booking service. Next slide, please. So here I'd like to introduce you to a couple of our guests and their catches. Rich caught his first salmon on the 22nd of August on the Dee, and Lena caught her trout on the 30th of September on the Don. Rich was a novice and that was his first salmon. Lena is a little more experienced. What is it like to fish in the autumn? Well, here are my thoughts, having fished for trout at the end of September. The rivers are currently laden with fish. They're great to see jumping around when you wade. I'd like now just to ask you for a few moments to close your eyes while I describe to you what it's like to stand in the river. You stand immersed in the cold running water of the river, at one with nature. Around you, the autumn leaves blaze with colour as the gentle breeze rustles through the trees. A few leaves and twigs break free, drifting past on the current. The air is crisp, alive with the earthly scent of the season. In the harvested fields, pheasants move through the stubble, their calls echoing faintly across the valley. Wading into the river feels profoundly grounding, a quiet restoration of the spirit, a moment of calm before the shorter, colder nights settle in, a perfect medicine for your well-being. Feel free to open your eyes now. So as we moved into the close season at the end of the month and into winter, as fly fishers, we use our time to perfect our casting, tie some flies, and possibly enjoy an odd dram. And with this in mind, we have just developed our new out-of-season experience to reflect our winter pastimes. So at TwinPeakes, we are conscientious of our impacts upon the environment and are determined to secure the planet for us and for future generations. We're committed to working in a sustainable and environmentally friendly way. We use local businesses wherever possible. We work with the local community to promote the sport of fly fishing. My sons, Will and Al, are both ambassadors of the Atlantic Salmon Trust and the River Dee Trust, which provides us with opportunities to promote the sport and work towards protecting the salmon. We have the only community-based disinfection station on any Scottish river. We actively promote safe handling and catch and release of all wild fish, and we constantly review our waste policies and carbon footprint to see where we can make improvements. And we pledge that for every travel trade booking of a full day salmon experience that is booked, we will plant a tree as part of the 1 Million Trees campaign, which is currently being launched by the River Dee Trust, and you can click on the link in the slide. So this is my last slide. On the left, you see the awards that we've been acquired over the last couple of years. We have some amazing fly fishers on our team. The brochures will be shared with you. This is our standard offering, but whether your client wants to land their helicopter, learn to play bagpipes when they arrive, or indeed listen to them while they walk down to the river, enjoy a dram at the end of the day, please get in touch. We know what your customers would like for the fly fishing, but we will do our best to make sure that all those extra requirements are included in their day. And we'd love to share our passion for fly fishing with you and your clients. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leslie, and thank you, Gordon. I'm just going to take 1 minute, I think we've got for Q&A for you both. There was one question in the Q&A that came up around family trips being available. So I just thought I'd maybe touch on that specific theme for both of you, if you have any points to make for families that might be interested in your experience or your accommodation.
So for the fly fishing side of things, our insurance kicks in when a child is 8. So from the age of about 8 to 11, we would expect them to go onto a still water. That would be a stocked fishery, and we can teach them how to fly fish. From the age of 11, they're more likely to be able to cope with wading in a river and the sheer size of the fishing tackle that they would use. And so we would suggest that 11 is the minimum age that we would put them into a river environment. I hope that answers your question.
Thanks, Leslie. And Gordon, I'm sure lots of families enjoy the Bothies up in Aberdeen.
Yes, we're fully inclusive of all families of all sizes and ages. I think our star bathing and moon bathing parties are particularly taken up by young kids. They thoroughly enjoy that because they get to be out and about after dark. That's just something that comes to mind about young people. And of course, living in a forest, it's all a bit of an enchanting experience for all ages, whether they are young or old.
Perfect. No, that's great. Thank you both. And there's a couple of questions in there specifically around if it's salmon or trout that can be caught. So I'll let Leslie answer that in the Q&A yourself. Perfect. And we'll move on to Highlands and Islands in the winter now. So we've got Glenmore Hotel and Apartments. We'll hear from Peter first, and then we'll go to JP Orkney with Paul.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm very pleased to be able to tell you about our Glenmore Hotel and Apartments based in Inverness. We're located along the banks of the River Ness, opposite St Andrew's Cathedral, if you've ever visited. The hotel consists of 100 bedrooms, 10 self-catering apartments, 1 restaurant, a venue space, our very own tap room, and our own distillery and brewery, which opened a couple of years ago, called Ulavesh. The property consists of multiple adjoining Victorian buildings with views over the river and St Andrew's Cathedral that I mentioned before. And we're also situated in one of Inverness's very own conservation areas, which, as you can expect, is popular with locals and visitors alike. Next slide, please. We're probably best known in Scotland for our energy centre. This is very unique to the Glenmore, where we take all water required from the hotel from the River Ness. As you can see on the map there, the water is brought to the surface via wells dug 30 metres deep in our car park. The majority of the water passes through our fluorescent treatment plant to ensure it's safe for drinking and showers and everything else in the property, as well as brewing and distilling production as well. We also have heat pumps on site, which heats the water to 75 degrees, and that is circulated across the whole property. So it removes our need for any gas boilers in the property there. The last gas boiler was in fact removed from operation last summer. You can see a number of recent awards that we've won, both nationally and internationally. And we are probably one of the UK's most sustainable hotels, being almost 100% self-sufficient there. Next slide, please. As I mentioned before, we're home to Ulavesh, our very own distillery and brewery, making us the only hotel in the UK to have both a distillery and a brewery attached to the property. Here we provide tours all year round, 7 days a week, ensuring that even in the autumn and the cold winter months, your guests can still enjoy a dram from over 200 whiskies in our tap room, which you can see in the large picture there. This is the first distillery to be built in Inverness in 130 years, and the first to be producing in 40 years. Sadly, the original distilleries all shut down in the 1980s, unfortunately. So this is a great chance to sample drinks, both beer and whiskey, made in-house here by the River Ness, using water from our energy centre taken from the River Ness. Here we do tours throughout the day from 11 in the morning, and tours can take up to 35 people on one tour of the production site. And then, of course, we offer private experiences, whether that's a private tour with our head brewer or head distiller, or a chance to go deeper into our whiskey collection on site to try some of the rarer drams there. Next slide, thank you. So we have a range of FIT and group rates for both the hotel and the distillery and brewery tours that we can provide you. And as you can see, we're only a short walk from Inverness train station, 20-minute drive from the airport, and 3.5-hour drive from Edinburgh and Glasgow. Information there on our sustainability webpage to tell you all about our carbon action plan and other plans that we have for tourist hotels and the Glenmore Hotel and Apartment. Thanks very much for listening.
Hello, my name is Paul Hood and I am one half of JP Orkney. The other half is my wife, Jane. So you can see we took a long time thinking of that business name there. And we're a tourist guiding business based in Orkney. We deliver private tours to groups of no more than 8 guests at a time. And the majority of our guests are high-end, high net worth individuals, groups, solo travelers, couples, small family, friendship groups, that kind of thing. We try to offer sustainable tours and demonstrate this through our work with green tourism. We're a gold accredited. We're also registered with Tourism Cares and part of the Meaningful Travel Map. Some of the things we do that make us sustainable is deliver our tours in an all-electric Mercedes vehicle. So not only is it environmentally friendly, it also offers a high level of guest comfort. And we charge the vehicle using our on-site renewable energy. So that makes us nearly carbon neutral now. Based on this and other best practices, we're the go-to business for guests interested in sustainable luxury tourism in Orkney. Next slide, please. So Orkney is just off the northeast coast of Scotland and is closer to Norway than it is to London. So it offers a really unique winter landscape and wildlife. Orkney's winter landscape features rugged coastlines, diverse wildlife, providing a unique natural experience to visitors and locals alike. There's historic site exploration available all year round. In the winter, our guests will be immersed in Orkney's rich history through visits to ancient ruins, cultural landmarks across all time periods you can think of. We achieve sustainable tourism as our tours. They're designed to minimise the environmental impact while maximising visitor engagement with natural landscape, culture and cuisine. And our winter itineraries are developed, the bespoke itineraries for small groups of up to about 8 people. And guests are typically FIT and most often high net worth. Itineraries are specifically designed to work with the Orkney winter and guests' interests. Next slide, please. So our other business is Jane and Paul's Orkney Produce, and this focuses on working with ingredients we either grow ourselves or source locally using sustainable, low impact farming techniques, supporting the local ecology and economy. Our flavours are authentic. Our products offer authentic tastes of Orkney. We make things like fatty cutties that are uniquely local biscuit you've probably never heard of. And this enhances the local cultural and culinary experience for our guests. We're supporting the island economy. The produce we make, it supports the economy by promoting local producers and sustainable livelihoods. We do this in a variety of ways. One of a number of examples of collaboration includes our Bloody Mary sauce, a take on the classic cocktail and made using vodka from an Orkney distiller called Dearness Distillery. And on our tours, we feature our produce in lunches that we provide for guests to enjoy with some stunning scenery in the background. And when we provide multi-day tours, we take people to different local companies to try their offerings, and our winter food and drink tours are always really popular. Next and final slide, please. So that's a brief introduction from me. As mentioned, we offer tours all year round, including the winter. I've popped up contact details on the slide here, and our website offers a lot more detail about what we do. And if you have any questions, happy to take them now, or feel free to drop me an email. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, Peter and Paul. Love it. Fantastic. And I think that's really brought to life some of the Highlands and Islands in winter, particularly Orkney. There's actually a couple of questions specifically here that I would like to just touch on just now. So JP Orkney, there's a question there asking around your vehicles. Are they accessible, i.e. wheelchair friendly?
There's no specific wheelchair ramp. We don't have that availability, I'm afraid. We do have grab handles and we provide steps for people. And we do work with people with mobility issues, but no designated wheelchair ramp on the vehicle at this stage.
No, that's good to know. Thank you. And for yourself, Peter, there was a question. What are the costs for the distillery and brewery tours? I'm not sure if you have a winter package as such to promote just now.
Yes, yeah. Well, we've got a range of different prices. Off the street, if you're a member of the public, is £33 per person, which includes a couple of nips to try at the end of the tour and a tasting of one of our beers made in-house also. But of course, we offer discounted rates to the travel trade, and we have rates for 26 and 27 that we can share with any buyers, any clients who are interested.
Perfect. And that's a really good point. After the webinar, we'll send out, or Tourism Cares will send out the recording of the webinar as well as the webinar slides. So you'll be able to access everybody's contact information and follow up with anyone from there as well. I think we might have 1 minute left if I'm right. What's this? Let's see. No, I think we'll maybe keep all of those for the wider Q&A at the end. So I'll pass over to Central Scotland now. So we're heading into spring for the season now, and we'll start with Victoria at Brucefield Estate, and we'll hear from Arielle at Maiden Stirling as well.
Good morning. Just wondering, sorry. Right, good morning. My grandfather, many times removed, was Robert the Bruce, and he lost his gauntlet, better known as a glove, somewhere here in these now semi-ancient woodlands on our 1,000-acre historic wildlife estate. What do we offer? Accommodation and brand new in 2026, exclusive day experiences for travel trade. We're a small team that manage the estate. That's us, bottom right, throwing our hats into the air. And in the bottom left, you can see we're in central Scotland, easy to combine with travelling further north or south of the country, and a wealth of key sites nearby, from Robert the Bruce, Outlander film locations, and Mary Queen of Scots favourites. If you're looking for itineraries, we have several on our website. We're open all year round, and we speak and have audio guides in multiple languages. What does spring bring? Crisp and clear views of the landscape. The estate wakes up to bluebells and the territorial sounds of owls, woodpeckers, and buzzards. In spring, our nature experiences start up again. Evening bat safaris with moth traps. Others continue. No-dig tree planting and bug vacuuming. It's bright weather for gravel and mountain bike trails. And for food, we have a private chef cook over coals experience, as well as picnic hampers for woodland trails. Why are we delighted to be part of Meaningful Travel? We feel we cover many of your objectives. We are in year 6 of our 10-year wildlife plan, which guides our overall land management to improve our ecology. It also provides a framework for education for interested guests as well as students. We're now in our 2nd year of partnering with our local college to teach rural and employability skills to students with additional support needs. Here is a very sunny picture of us. 5 of our students from last year have gone on to apprenticeships and full-time jobs with the John Muir Conservation Trust. We also provide respite stays to our local carer organisation, and our guests hire bikes from our local village charity. And not least, our accommodation is built to high environmental standards. And now to our exclusive travel trade day experiences for FIT or groups, which will be available for the first time in 2026. Step back in time to a baronial Scottish mansion house where Robert the Bruce, Jacobite, and Mary Queen of Scots artefacts and tales are brought to life in a private family home. We have various options, including a ride in our 1930 Morris 6 Tourer, the very last remaining in the UK. On that note, for this mainly North American Zoom audience, I thought you'd like the following review published in 1929 in the Times. This should meet the requirements of many who might otherwise buy an American car, with the gear changing as simple. These days, has to be admitted, gear changing is a little bit more challenging to what we're used to, but come and have a ride. Another highlight is a game of puff billiards in the library, which is guaranteed laughter for all ages and stems from 1895. Have I made you hungry? We offer afternoon teas and lunches, but for a real treat, book our 18th century Outlander feast, which can also come with Gaelic song. My contact details are here. Don't hesitate to be in touch if you have any questions. And later you will get a link to a short film about Brucefield Estate. Thank you.
Hello, I hope you're all enjoying this webinar so far, and I'm now going to take the honor of introducing you to Made in Stirling store and tell you why you should travel during spring to us. Next slide, please. Yeah, so Made in Stirling is a reimagined department store. We took over an empty department store 7 years ago on the high street of Stirling. And since then, we've been trying to answer to a more sustainable and a more environmentally friendly way of gift giving and buying, as opposed to fast fashion or the current generative AI art. Which means that we are hosting now 100 local artists and makers in our store, and we allow them to show, teach, and sell with us, and to widen their audiences, basically. Everything is handcrafted and handmade, and we do try to aim and provide meaningful shopping experiences. We are also a community interest company, which means that we are the trading branch of the charity Creative Stirling, and Creative Stirling's aim is to make the arts more accessible for people from diverse backgrounds, or sometimes people that have more difficulties in their personal lives. So all our proceeds are split between the artists that we host and our charity. And for artists as well, we really try to provide opportunities for them as well, which means that we give them access to having or hosting courses and workshops here, to host solo or group exhibitions, and to build connections. Now, Made in Stirling is also centrally located, as I said, in Stirling, so a close drive to both Glasgow and Edinburgh airports, and also very good proximity to local landmarks such as the castle and the Wallace Monument, which you will also find art of in our store. Next slide, please. So our experiences, as I said, we are mainly a store, but we wanted to provide experiences that will bring tourism closer to these artists, and on the one hand, widen their audience, but also give people access to what it is like to being an artist in Stirlingshire. So we have a Meet the Maker experience and a Make Your Own Scottish Keepsake experience to give either a more broad access to the arts or have hands-on experience. But now, why would you visit us in the spring? As Caitlin mentioned, it is slightly off the beaten track in spring. There's less people around, which creates a calmer atmosphere. But for us, it also means that we have more exhibitions on. Our spaces get turned around every season, and during spring, we bring in multiple exhibitions. Our stock also gets a refresh. And people are starting to create new art for the busier seasons ahead, but also have a little bit more creativity through their art. So you might see stuff that will not come back in store later on. We also do provide seasonal food spreads and drink experiences, which makes for that all-round seasonal feel. Next slide, please. So yeah, these are my contact details. Sorry, please do not hesitate to get in touch either through LinkedIn or email, and have a look at our Instagram and our web shop.
I can see Ariel's notes, and the notes for that slide were "hit me up, besties." So I think that's a really good summary of how we should all be working together. Yeah, we have a couple minutes for questions for the two of you, Ariel and Victoria. So feel free to turn your videos back on and unmute yourselves. We have a question that we're going to ask in a few minutes to the larger group about advice for how travel advisors can talk to their clients about sustainability. But I wanted to talk to both of you. Probably have very different audiences that are visiting your establishments. How do you go about communicating the positive impact that you're having on your local community, on the artist network, or on the local environment, or however you do that? How do you talk about it, and how do you make it so that it's additive to the experience of the people who are enjoying your product?
So for Made in Sterling, the way we work, we are a very small core team, but our artists and makers volunteer in the shop. So a lot of the times they get the experience of someone buying something that they've made. And then us staff, we usually like to slip in that this is the person that has made it. So then people get the experience of directly seeing their purchase, like what that will do for the person that has made their purchase. So that is one of the ways. And also our charity holds exhibitions as well, which we try to broadcast that it's partially because of what people have bought in our store that we get that experience.
And you think that provides like a stronger connection point for the consumers, that they walk away with a more meaningful experience because you're just putting that, you're making that little effort just to communicate that
yeah,
connectivity.
they get to see the face behind it a bit more. We definitely, even if the artists aren't present at the same time, we do really try to constantly remind people that what they're buying is local and is made by someone, you know, practically living in the same streets, so to say. So it's a more wholesome experience than buying something, say, at the airport.
Yeah, excellent. Victoria, do you want to chime in on that same question of communicating impact to your consumers?
I think similar to Ariel, it's a very visual thing. When people come to us, they're using their eyes and ears. You have beautiful surroundings, so people will always ask about the forest. They will hear the owl or the woodpecker, so they will ask about that. So I would say it's not something we have to initiate. When people come, they hear, they look, it takes their interest, and then they will ask questions. And it's asking those questions which allows us to start that discussion.
That's great. Yeah, I think that's a very engaging way to do it, because it becomes a conversation rather than just a top down, here's what we're doing, take it or leave it. So that's
Absolutely
fantastic. Thank you, Victoria. Let's have all of our panelists turn their videos on and unmute yourselves. We've got about 7 or 8 minutes here to ask a couple questions maybe that might apply to all of you, although I do want to point out that there are a few questions in the Q&A that are specific to a few of the businesses. So if you want to jump in and answer those, I welcome you to do so. So let's ask this question and then see, who wants to take a stab at it. So, there's a perception out there that meaningful travel, that sustainability is for a specific traveler, or even that it's kind of like a negative thing, that it detracts from an experience. Based on all the things that you've shared that your travelers are doing, I think it attracts to it. You're attracting a very wide range of travelers, families to, higher net worth to just, your average consumer. From your perspectives, would you say that there's a broadening or growing interest in meaningful experiences, or are you having to kind of just do that anyway and hope to appeal to people who are coming your way? Are you able to kind of take a marketing advantage from the impact you're having, or are you not really seeing that consumer demand there? And it's okay to be honest. Feel free to chime in on that one.
I'm happy to pick that one up. I would say it's definitely an advantage, because it shows the people. I see this a lot because we do tours with people. You spend time with them. I deliver pretty much all of our tours, and you obviously delivering the information of where you are, but you're spending time with people, and it's quite intimate in many ways, and it comes back from the people. It might be first and foremost on their mind, but to them, they see you as somebody who's responsible, somebody who's put care into their business by thinking about these sort of things. If you break it all down, you if you look at it, shows you're looking at all the small points of your business, and I think that the visitor, the guest, appreciates that, and that puts you ahead of other ones, particularly when it comes to the sales side of things. When people are picking which company to use to visit, if they see that you've gone to that level of caring for in your own business, that screams to them professional and somebody they want to go with. So yeah, I'd certainly think it's a benefit, and it's not new. We've been going for about 9 years now, and I think we've benefited from setting our stall out as we did from the offset, just from all the feedback that we get.
Excellent. Anybody else want to take a stab at that?
Yeah, so we have a questionnaire that we send all our customers after they've had an experience with us. It isn't necessarily the reason they book with us, but all our guides use it as an opportunity when they're having an experience to explain the plight of the salmon, why we do catch and release, all the disinfection practices that we have to go through, and just generally educating them. And what we'd like to think is that they go away from our experiences with a different approach to sustainability that they hadn't maybe thought of before they arrived with us.
And just to add to that, John, sorry to interrupt. Just to add to that, we've definitely seen a rise in the last couple of years of the Glenmore Hotel. What with our energy centre and award wins recently, it's brought a more of a savvy visitor to the Highlands, to Inverness. I mean, it's no secret that the majority of visitors are North American to the Highlands and Islands, and with that, long haul flights, they like to do something on the other end that can maybe try as best as they can to offset it. And we found that by talking to our customers at reception, and every tour that we do of the distillery and brewery, it starts with a presentation on our energy centre. So people are coming away with, the produce of the beer and the whiskey being made on site from the water outside via the energy centre. So it's good education.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You're bringing them in with great product, but then you're in both cases, I think, yours and Leslie's, bringing them in with the product, but then being able to let them leave with a little bit more education and information about the impact. Gordon, I had seen you had raised your hand to answer as well. Why don't you jump in?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that you don't get any premium for being completely off-grid or sustainable, but I think that once people have experienced it, I'm certainly getting feedback that they then acknowledge that there's a bit of work gone into it that makes it more difficult than running, shall we say, a regular business. So I think in short, I'm saying I don't think I experienced getting any uplift in margin because of it, but I do think that we are probably all better positioned in the long term because we have these factors under control presently, which will become in the future the norm. So I would say it was a positioning thing rather than something I'm fully getting the advantage of presently, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does. And I think it transitions well to the next question I have. We have a few minutes. We have a ton of travel advisors on this particular webinar. So I'm curious to hear from you. Anybody kind of wants to take that conversation we had just now to the next level. How would you then, what advice would you have for the travel advisor to connect the dots between the impact you're making through your product and the consumer? So to bridge that information gap so that the positive impact is a selling point, or at least it's something that can be added on to how the advisor talks to their guests and drums up interest in them for product in Scotland for the particular product you have.
I'll start if you want.
Sure.
It's a very difficult market. The whole green agenda is quite a difficult market because it does not segment directly with everything else. So everybody has got an element of green within them and an element of responsibility within them, but it's not like you can typify them with they read the New York Times and they're green. So you cannot get that alignment of two different market segments to target the market in a straightforward manner. Almost everybody has an element of this responsible and ethical element within it, and that makes it a very broad church in order to attract that marketing too. That's not helpful, I note. I'm just saying it's a tricky thing to sell.
I think it is.
I
It is
think I could
helpful in a
simply.
sense because you
I was
have
gonna
to
say,
you understand that it has to be generalized. Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
I think you could simplify it a bit easier. It's an advantage for the sales advisor in that you've got someone or a business with a USP over another business. So if you're looking at all these businesses in Scotland and you want to sell an itinerary to your travel guests, you just go on the Tourism Cares map and you pick out those guys because they're going to be the ones that have got all these things and these extra things. So where I'm going with this is, you could have use my profession. So tourist guides, in Orkney, we've got 70 of them registered. So if you're looking at that thinking, where do I go? There's 70 of them there. If you find the ones, you just pick the Tourism Cares brand, you can then whittle it down, and you know that you're getting something because the people on there have put the time and effort into their business to do that.
Yeah, I think that's great, and there's other things you can look for too besides just the Tourism Cares Meaningful Travel Map logo, other certifications and B Corporation and things like that. Although we certainly appreciate the plug to the map. So thank you so much to the panelists. We're just going to close out the webinar now with a few more minutes from our partner at Visit Scotland. So Caitlin, hop back in here and take it away.
Perfect, thank you. And yeah, what good discussion to be having at the end there between suppliers who are actually offering the experiences and then the travel advisors and the tour operators in the Q&A as well. It's fantastic. So yeah, I just wanted to end on a reminder, and I don't think it's necessarily a reminder now, but please do visit the Meaningful Travel Map of Scotland. As you can tell on there, we do have experiences as well as accommodation, and you can tell for the image there across Scotland is represented there. We do have lots of different sector types as well on there. So there's different types of food and drink experiences. Again, throughout the year, things will change in terms of what they're offering there. There are exclusive use properties and unique accommodations. There are even Highland Coo experiences on there and other wildlife watching and outdoor adventures. As we had Paul here, we also have others on there from different islands across Scotland, really taking you into the island culture and the way of life there. We also have museums that are operated by local people, and they're fantastic storytellers of all their local history. And as well as made in Stirling, we have other crafty and hands-on experiences for you to see as well. We were the first country in Europe to be on the Tourism Cares Meaningful Travel Map, and we're delighted. We've got about 50 pins on the map now, I think, John. I'm losing count. And it's all fantastic and really easy to use. Kind of back to the conversation, it's a really simple, interactive way to find these types of experiences. I think the news from the marketplace tells us that people want to do good and they are interested in living like a local, giving back on their while they're traveling. And this is a great resource for you to weave in those meaningful travel experiences to your clients' itineraries. I think the next slide's just a reminder again of all our resources. As I say, we do have some itineraries available that do weave in meaningful travel experiences, as well as lots of other experiences that we know about that might be doing good environmentally and so on. There's actually product presentations too, so you can hear from more of our Scottish suppliers. And also these pages as well, as I say, that you can find some inspiration and information on there. I think it's just one last slide to say thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a great day.